This might be the most unreal place in Italy, but that is for you to decide. Welcome back to another travel review, and today I'll be reviewing Capri, one of the nicest places in Italy. Nice little island off the coast of Naples. What a place. The place doesn't even seem real. So stick around, especially if it's on your bucket list, to see what I have to say. I'll go through the pros, I'll go through the cons, I'll go through everything. I'll go through everything that you need to know if you are planning a trip to Capri. So where is Capri? Capri is situated on the west coast of Italy, near a city called Naples, and it's actually, in fact, just a short ferry journey across from Naples. So if you're planning to go to Capri, if you go to Naples first, that is the best way to get there. Take the ferry across, either from Naples or from Sorrento. That's another option that you have. You can take a ferry from Sorrento as well. When did I go? I went in July 2025, but I also went in June 2023. So I clearly love this place. I've been twice now, so that is proof that you need to add it to your bucket list. Why should you go though? What a question. I'm basically going to run you through the reasons why you should go, and I will give you obviously reasons why maybe it's not for you, but I'm going to run you through that. But why did I go? Everybody raved about it, and I saw photos online of all the blue water. I saw photos online of all the activities that you can get up to, all the boat trips, the Blue Lagoon, which is actually on the other side of the island. There's so many things that you can do and get up to, which for me as an adventurous person, I thought, wow, my eyes lit up, my ears pricked, and I was like, yes, get me involved. So we took the ferry across from Sorrento to Capri, and that cost roughly about 20 to 30 euros per person. So it's not too expensive at all. And especially if you're going to spend a little bit of time on the island, maybe like a couple of 3 days, which I would recommend. Maybe 3 days is probably the perfect amount you could spend on the island. You get to see everything, you get to do everything. So for 20 to 30 euros per person, that's one way. It's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. As soon as we got off of the ferry at the port, we saw these amazing cliffs. Like, these cliffs just as if they just dragged you in. They dragged you onto the island. You're just like, what is going on here? Like, these are unbelievable. And we had the amazing idea of walking up the stairs, which, can I just say, I do not know how many steps there was, but it felt like there was 1,000, maybe even 2,000. But we were in like 30-degree heat, so maybe that wasn't the best idea. By the time I got up the stairs all the way, I might as well just got out of a shower. I was there's so much sweat because it was so hot, and I was just like, why have I done this? Why didn't I just get the funicular up? Because you can get a funicular up, but the problem with the funicular is there's a queue. There's a queue for the funicular. So we never actually done that because we just did not want a queue. We did not want to hang around. I'm that kind of person. Like, no, just get me doing something now. I don't want to be hanging around. I'm that kind of person. But you can also get a bus up, which at the time we didn't really know. So we just decided, look, we'll walk up. We basically walked all the way up to the top, which is, I know that's crazy. I know that's crazy because it's a massive drop. It's a massive height that you need to walk up to. But we did that, and that's that. So, but the views up the top were insane. I mean, look at these views. Unbelievable. So it was worth it. And it also was a little bit of an experience for us, so we did enjoy it. Even if we were sweating like mad. One thing I'd highly recommend if you go to Capri, take a boat tour. Wow. We booked a boat tour through Get Your Guide, and that was about £50 per person. And he basically told us everything about the island that we needed to know. Our tour guide took us round and showed us every little part of the island from the outside, which was brilliant. We really enjoyed it. And he even let us off for some swimming, some limoncello. So it was a fantastic idea, especially if you like limoncello, especially if you like swimming, and especially if you like just staring at the cliffs when you get there. So now if we go onto the other side of the island, this actually now isn't called Capri anymore. This is called Anacapri. So the island's basically split into two halves. You have Capri, which is the commercialized, the busy side, where you basically can't move because there's so many people, and that has all like, yeah, the designer shops, that has all the, most of the boat trips, it has most of the activities, whatever. But if you go up to the top of the island and then you take a bus which takes you into Anacapri, then it gets very, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. So if you love to have a chilled time when you're on holiday, Anacapri is the perfect destination. So we stayed at Villa d'Alessandro, which was one of the best places, if not the best place I've ever stayed in my life. It was a villa with a hot tub, with a canopy, with places where you can lay out in the sun, places where you can just stare at the sea. And from the sea, which made it even better, which made it even more special, you could see Mount Vesuvius, you could see Naples, and that blew my mind. Like, you could see Mount Vesuvius, you could see where Pompeii was, and the location, I've never known something like it before. It probably is the best location I've ever been in. And for £156 per night, per person, that's a deal and a half. Like, that is unbelievable. I couldn't believe I found such a good deal in Capri. Well, Anacapri. But wow, what a place to stay. We were sat there at night and it was so quiet. It was so quiet in the daytime, it was so quiet at night. And you just felt like you had everything to yourself. You just felt like you had the whole island to yourself. It was the most amazing thing. Another thing you can do in Anacapri is the Blue Grotto, known as Grotta Azzurra. And that is a cave in the water where you can row yourself back into it as long as it's safe, and there's this unbelievable blue water which is mind-blowing. Unfortunately, I went to do this twice, but both times it was shut because the waves were too choppy. Because it's a small cave, if the waves are too choppy, it's too dangerous. Like, you could hit your head, it could really injure you. So you could even end up in fatalities. So you cannot take the risk to go in there. Do not swim on your own in there because it's simply not allowed. So you need to go in with a tour guide. You need to go in with someone else who knows what they're doing at least. So yes, be careful. What are things to know about the island that maybe other people might not tell you? So Anacapri is completely out of the way. It is, as I said, the island's set up and split in half. Anacapri is well out of the way. Like, you're gonna take like at least 20-30 minutes simply by bus to get there because of the terrain that you're on. And when you get to Anacapri, it is simply, you got the top and then all the accommodations down, and it is a steep down. It is steep going down. So if you struggle with walking, if you struggle with hiking, if you struggle with stuff like that, do not stay in Anacapri because you really will struggle. You are best staying in Capri. Another thing, it goes without saying, is expensive. It is very, very expensive. So make sure that you're happy to spend the money, number one, and number two, you've got your wallet out. So, because otherwise you just got to prepare yourself. Like, it wasn't horrific, but yeah, it was bad, and you can still budget it like we did, but yeah, you've just got to be careful with what you spend your money on, because if you're eating out in locations that realistically are tourist traps, you're going to be in trouble because you're going to spend a lot of money. Downside that I slightly touched on earlier was how busy Capri really is in the summer. Like, there are points where I couldn't believe how many people there were. I felt like I couldn't move. There were so many people. So just be careful when you go. Like, just prepare yourself again for how many people there will be in the summer. I don't know what the winter's like because I've never been in the winter. Another thing is, do not go for beaches, because most of the beaches in Capri are rocky beaches, and I'm sure you love a sandy beach. So if you're going for beaches, Capri is not a destination that you want to be picking. Pick somewhere else. But as an overall, I would probably give Capri a 9 out of 10 rating, which is extremely high. and I will certainly be heading back specifically to do the Blue Grotto, which is still on my bucket list, which I wasn't able to complete when I was there. So you will see me there again, 100%. I promise you that one. Add it to your list if you're big on hiking, if you're big on experiencing new cultures, new adventures. And next week I will be reviewing Rome, so subscribe to my channel if you want to see more travel reviews like this.